Okay, so we'll be looking at Microsoft Word now. Many of us have been using Microsoft Word before now, but I will just be showing us some important things about Microsoft Word, especially maybe in the nearest future, you might be given a test on Microsoft Word, maybe an interview test to test your digital literacy skill. So they might give you some tests on Microsoft Word, and many people do fail this test. I tell you, even though they can use Microsoft Word, but they do fail the test of Microsoft Word, and I will show us why. So basically, those are the things I'll be concentrating. That is what I'll be concentrating on this aspect of Microsoft Word. I might not be teaching us everything about Microsoft Word because we know many of it already. Many of us can use Microsoft Word. I will only be showing us some important things you might not know about Microsoft Word, and that might be important, especially when you want to take digital literacy tests in the nearest future. So I've been opportune to see people take people that have to go through interview tests on digital literacy, and I've received some reports also, and it's so amazing how people fail digital literacy tests. So I remember when I took my Microsoft certification exams, the test was such a funny one, very, very funny test. Some things we will not even think about. So we'll be looking at some of those things as we proceed. So let's go into Microsoft Word. So the first thing we'll be looking at is the Microsoft Word interface. So let's see the Microsoft Word interface, and let's learn some important things about it. So when you open a Microsoft Word, this is the page you will firstly see. This is where you will land when you open a new Microsoft Word. You will have this new, then you will see the search bar. They call this thing search bar. Take note of it. The name is search bar. Okay, let me be using my annotation now, because that is what I want to teach us in Microsoft Word. Basically, the nomenclature of the user interface. That is what they always test. They will ask you, what is this thing in Microsoft Word? You will now be wondering, what's the name of this thing? So I will have to be doing some annotation now. Let me see if I can still remember my annotation skill very well. Okay. All right. Awesome. So this is the search bar. This is the search bar. And let me hide this. Okay. Can we see this? Can we see the search bar I typed now? Hello, can we see search bar?
Search bar.
Yes.
Yeah, we can see it.
Good. Search bar. That's it. So that is your search bar. This box here, this box you have here, that's your search bar. Or let me see if I can use my spotlight. Okay, this thing here now is the search bar, where you are seeing this red thing here now. So that's your search bar, and if you proceed, below it you will see some suggested searches. Now, the reason for this search bar is so that you can search for templates. So you can still call this search bar your online templates. So you can call it search bar for online templates. So you can use it for your online templates. And the reason for all these templates is to make your work easier. So you have your blank document, your red and black report, your single spaced blank. Now, you might not have this option on every you might not have this option or this template on your own Microsoft Word. Probably if your Microsoft Word is not connected to the internet, you might not see all these things. But you will always have the blank document. So the blank document is what we use in starting a new document in Microsoft Word. Now, under this home tab, where you have this file tab, these are the tabs in the file menu. We call these things file menu in Microsoft Word. These are your file menu. And you have your info, your new. If you go to info, you can get some info. Let me delete this. Here's my delete now. So let me delete these ones. Okay. So this is your info. If you want to protect a document, you want to inspect documents, you want to change versions, but you might not need all this most times. Then if you want to open a new document, you can see open here. If you want to save a document, you can save from here. You can either save to OneDrive. What is the meaning of OneDrive? OneDrive is a cloud storage platform owned by Microsoft, and you can use it to save your file for easy accessibility anytime. So anywhere you are in the world, in as much you have a computer device and you have an internet connection, you can access your device, your documents from any device, and you can save directly to your computer, and you can add another place if you want to add another place, maybe from your OneDrive for business and other things like that. Then if you want to print, this is where you print, and we will soon learn more about all these ones as we proceed. All right, let me go back. Now, when you click a blank document, you will land here. You will have your own, let me drag my tool below. So you have what we call your home, your file, your home, your insert. All these things, we call them tabs. But before I do that, let me start from the top. At your lower left hand corner, your top left hand corner, let me annotate that for us. So your top left hand corner, where I pointed the arrow, let me delete this. Let me do that again. So everything you have at the top left hand corner is what we call your quick access toolbar. That's your quick access toolbar. Please, you must take note of that. That's your quick access toolbar. Your quick access toolbar. So, and the reason why they call them quick access toolbar is because they make it easier for you to easily access some tools. For instance, on your quick access toolbar, you will see new, you will see open, you will see save, you can have undo, redo. These are the default ones. Then you can add more by clicking this lower arrow. I believe you are seeing what I'm saying. So these are the quick access toolbar. Your undo and redo will be activated when you start typing. We call this page, this left hand corner, quick access toolbar. Now, in the middle, you have your title bar. In the middle, you have your title bar. Let me annotate that for you. Your title bar. So this is your title bar. Please take note of that. The reason why it is called title bar is because that is where you have your document's name. That's your title bar, where you have your document name. We call it title bar. Title bar. Now, still on your title bar, we have some other important tools, and these tools are your ribbon display options. If you want to go for help, minimize, maximize, then your close. And this is minimize, this is restore down, or sometimes it will turn to maximize. Now it is in maximizing option. You can use it to maximize, and you can use it to return down, and also you can use this to minimize a particular page, to minimize this layout. Then you can use this to close your Microsoft Word, and below it you have your Microsoft account. So currently my account, I'm signed into my account on Microsoft. I believe we understand that. So let me do a quick recap of what we have on top here. I said, please 1 second, let me stop something here.
Word.
Yeah,
it's not showing.
Okay, it's not showing.
It's not showing.
I don't understand.
The way you have that icon on your own, that
Okay.
they now wrote micro. Yeah, there. I don't have that on my own.
Wow. I don't know the reason for that. Is most times it's always there. Probably you can set that up under view. It should be available under view. Maybe you go to your view. Let's see if it's okay, it's not even available here. It's not there. I don't know why. Maybe next I will look into that later. So let me proceed. Now, after your these are your quick access toolbar, your title bar. Then this is where you have your Microsoft help, your ribbon setting. I will talk on this later. Then your minimize, maximize, or restore down. Then your close. Now, you move down, you have what we call tabs. Each of these things are called tabs. File tab, home tab, insert tab, design tab, layout, page layout tab, references, mailings, review, view, faucet reader. So all those things are called tabs. And the function of the tabs are to... You want to say something?
Yes, sir. Sorry, which year is your own Microsoft? Is it 2013 or you know what
Yes,
the problem
this is.
Because some of those bars are not.
This is 2013. You don't have these bars on your own?
Yeah, I don't have that design bar.
Okay.
I only have home, insert, layout, references, mailing, view, and Acrobat.
Wow. It should come with a design tab. Probably your... Which Microsoft Word are you using?
2010.
2010. And maybe 2010 doesn't come with design tab. So maybe that's why. Maybe 2010 doesn't come with design tab. Because most times, as Microsoft are making updates, they are adding new things. So probably the 2010 doesn't come with a design tab. So you might not actually make use of the design tab like that in Microsoft Word, but it's very important in PowerPoint, but not so important in Word. But let's proceed. So I said each of these things are called tabs, and you have to pay attention to that. It's part of the things they always test for when they want to check your... So let me see how I can name that. Let me just draw an arrow and put it here. So they are called tabs. Yes. So those are your tabs. And Another thing you have to take note of, for every tab you have, this is the home tab now. Home tab consists of tools that you use is most times. They are regular tools that you use in performing some actions or to carry out some things on your Word document. Before I forget, Microsoft Word is mainly used in creating documents. Anytime you want to create test documents, that is the work of Microsoft Word. Microsoft Word is basically for documentation and to create test documents. So that is why when you save anything in Microsoft Word format, it is saved as DOCS or DOC format. So it is mainly for creating test documents, for creating resumes, for creating anything that has to do with test documents like proposals, things that have to do with brochures. You can still use your Microsoft Word to do that. So that's the function, the essence of Microsoft Word, basically for documentation. And now for every home tab, you have your tools, your common tools. Then if you go to insert tab, you will see tools that you can easily use to insert a particular function. Now going back to my home tab, for your tab, every tab consists of what we call groups. That is another nomenclature that you must know. Every tab consists of what we call groups. So inside the tab, you will have groups. So let me name that for us. Groups. Now, groups are tools that are similar in function. So some tools that are similar in their functions are grouped together inside a particular tab. So for your own tab now, you have keyboard group, font group, paragraph group, style group, editing group. Please don't forget that every tab consists of groups. Inside each group now, you now have what we call your tools. So these are groups. Inside your font group now, you can have your fonts, what you can use, a particular tool you can use to set your font size. You can see the tool you can use to set your font type. You can see tools you can use to edit your font, maybe to format your font. You can see tools that you can use to change the case of your font, whether uppercase or lowercase. So for changing case, that's the function of that tool. So anything that has to do with font, formatting your font, is inside the font group. Anything that has to do with your clipboard. Clipboard consists of cut, copy, paste, format, painter, all those things. You can find them inside your clipboard group. Anything that has to do with paragraphing. Paragraphing simply means adding bullet points, alignment, maybe align left, align center, align right, justify, line spacing, paragraph spacing. All those things can be found inside your paragraph group. Then if you want to work with styles, probably you don't want to be changing your font every time. You don't want to change your head. You want your heading to be regular throughout. You want your body text to be regular throughout. You can pick a particular style and you don't have to be changing headings and body text every time. All those things will be there automatically by making use of styles. But for me, I don't do that most times. I just go for normal, and because I want flexibility with what I do. Then if you want to do anything that has to do with editing, like select a particular thing, you want to open your selection pane, and that you use this most times when you are using Microsoft Word, probably to build a brochure in which you will need to be designing and overlaying objects. So you will need things like selection pane. All right, so that is about groups. And I said inside each group, you have tools that are similar for performing similar tasks. Okay, then the combination of your tabs, your groups, are what we call ribbon. Now before I do that, let me check my slide and see if I've not omitted anything. Let me go back to my slide here. Okay, So I will still come back to pointer and cursor, ribbon, dialog box, mini toolbar, shortcut keys. Okay. All right. So let me just go back now. So now inside your group, you have what we call this. You can open a dialog box. And the meaning of that dialog box is this. There are some times that in a particular group, the tools you have there, you cannot contain the space you have here. So to get more tools inside the same font group, or to add effects, that things that are not actually that cannot be found inside this space, you can still have more of it in your dialog box. So this box is what we call dialog box. So like something like strike through, double strike, if you want to write Naira now. So if you type N and you select N, you can come to double strike and add double strike to it. So that's the dialog box for font. You can open dialog box for paragraph also to have more flexibility in editing your paragraph. So every group, most group comes with their own dialog box also. You can see clipboard dialog box. All right, so that's dialog box, and I need to, let me do that. Let me name that for us also. So we call that one dialog box. Sorry. So that's dialog box. So you use that drop down arrow to activate your dialog box. Okay, now the combination of your tabs and your groups gives you what we call ribbon. So from this place, from this file home tab, if you draw a line from that point, draw it down all the way to your groups. That's what we call ribbon. That's what we call ribbon. That's your ribbon. So tabs, your tabs plus your, sorry. Okay, you are raising your hand. You have any question?
I have a question. Your laptop, are you charging it? Going down?
Yes, I'm charging it. I'm charging it. So tabs plus grooves equals to ribbon. Thank you for that. Okay. So that's your ribbon. They do ask that question also. That's what are the components you have inside your ribbon. So that's your tab. Your tab, then your groups. So those are your ribbon. That's what consists of your ribbon. Please don't forget that. Now, moving down from that, you have what we call your ruler. Let me locate that for you. Just to your left, you can see ruler. That's the vertical one. And this is the horizontal one. So we call this one ruler. So almost everybody knows this. That's your ruler. And this is your ruler. Okay. So this is your ruler. And what else? Now, this white space is what we call your workspace. So this is your workspace. This is your workspace. The whole of this place is your workspace. Everything you have here, that's your workspace. And if you scroll down, you have what you call your status bar below. Everything here is status bar. So inside your status bar, wait for me, let me annotate that for you. So this is your own doesn't have status bar.
Does not have this rule now.
Okay, I will show you how to show the ruler. I'll show you that one. So this is the status bar. And what else? Okay, now inside your status bar, you have your paging. You can see that all these things get new. And in fact, their Microsoft tests can be funny. They'll be asking you some questions, so you feel like, what's these things? And they are very simple questions. So your page number. So that's your page number. Okay. Then your word counts. Maybe I should double this. Good. So your word counts. That is the number of words you have typed. So you have your word counts. Good. You have your language. That's for language selection, where you select your language. So this is language. Okay, this is language. And no. Oh, sorry. What else? Okay, to the right, this is where you select your view, your paper view. These are your paper view. You can choose web view, you can choose this normal view, or you can choose book view. This is book view. This is the normal view. This is the web view. So let's see, let me type that, your paper view or workspace view, anyone you want to call it. So that's your paper view. So you can control that, you can control what you see. Then you have your zoom slider. Zoom slider. This thing is called zoom slider. This is zoom slider. Okay. Oh, so that is Microsoft Word interface for you. Very interesting. Oh, so that's everything about the Microsoft Word interface. So let me show you the issue of your ruler that you want to bring out. Any question on this before I proceed?
You get me, sir?
I said, any question on this?
Are you going to add this picture, particular thing to our site?
Okay. And you will get it in the recording, though. But I'm not sure it will be in the slide, though. Unless I want to do, let me see if I can save it. Save as PNG. Okay. I'm trying to see if I can. All right. It's available. Wow. In fact, I've seen it. It's okay. Can you see it?
Wow. Thank you.
So it's available. So you will get the image. All right. Let me proceed. Let me go back to my Word. So this is everything. Now let me go and show you how to activate your ruler. So okay, we will get there as I proceed. Let me clear everything you have here now. Clear your drawings. That's all. Now, the next tab is the Insert tab. So under your Insert tab, you can see options for you to insert some things on your document. How should I take this? Okay, let me leave these tabs for now. As we proceed, we will learn more on each of them. So let me just show you how to bring out your ruler. If you go to view, under view, you will see show. So under show, mark ruler, tick ruler. So that's how to bring out your ruler. If you even want grid line, you can tick grid line. If you want navigation pane, you can tick navigation pane. So that's that on. Have you been able to bring out your ruler?
Sorry, sir. Can you take that again?
View, then show group. Look for show group inside your view tab, then tick ruler. View, show group, tick ruler. Hope you have done that. You've seen it? All right. You can see it. View, show, tick ruler. Do you see view tab?
Yeah, I've gone to view. I can see cover, blank page, page break, table, picture, clip, art, shapes, smart, art, screenshot, and then hyperlink, and everything.
Under view. Are you sure you are seeing you are you are on view tab?
Okay, I've gone to view. I can see that. Yeah, I can see.
I don't wonder. Maybe you are pressing insert before.
I was in insert, yeah.
I want to edit something here. So this one ought to be layout view, not paper view. Layout view. Let me delete this. So this is layout view and not paper view. So let me take this screenshot again. Okay. All right, let's get out of this place and let's move on. Now the next thing we want to look at is, let me see. A PowerPoint did not want to come out. Okay. So we have looked at interface. Okay, I've not shown you mini toolbar, then shortcut keys. Okay, as we proceed, we see that one. So let's go to text formatting. So inside text formatting, we'll be looking at how you insert text, copy and paste, font and bold. Then I will quickly show you the issue of pointer and cursor. This is one of the most common questions in digital literacy tests. So they will ask you, what is the difference between pointer and cursor? Can you tell me, what's the difference between pointer and cursor? You're laughing.
I thought you had pointer on Android phones.
So let me show us what pointer is and what cursor is. So now the simple difference is this: pointer moves with your mouse. As you are moving your mouse, the pointer will be moving. You will notice that as I'm moving my mouse now, something is moving with it. That's your pointer. So your pointer moves with the mouse. That thing that looks like angle, arrowhead, that arrowhead or something like that now. That's your pointer. So you use your pointer to locate where you want to insert maybe your alphabet, your object now. So your object can either be alphabet, can be lines, can be shape, can be anything. So you use your pointer to do that. That's the function of the pointer. And your pointer moves with the mouse. But when we are talking of cursor, cursor is what tells you where the next object will be inserted. So anywhere you have your cursor, that is where the next object will be inserted. And your cursor moves in respect to the object. So if I'm typing anything now, my cursor will be moving with it. So my mouse doesn't control the cursor. The cursor moves with the object, not with the mouse. And your cursor is actually where you can insert the next object. So, but you can control the location of your cursor with your pointer. So let's say I have some text now, and I want to change the location of this cursor. I can use my pointer and click where the cursor will be. So cursor is that line that you are seeing that is blinking. That's the cursor. So let me repeat myself. I said pointer moves with the mouse, and pointer is what you use in locating where your cursor should be. And I also said that your pointer is basically for you to know where you locate your objects and to control the position of your object. But when we are talking of your cursor is actually where the next object will be inserted. Anywhere you have your cursor is where the next object will be inserted. You can also use your pointer to select, as I have done now. I hold my left click. So yes, my left click, and I highlighted on the object using my pointer. But I can use my pointer to locate where the cursor will be. And I said the only thing that can move the pointer is your mouse. The only thing that can move the cursor is either you use your pointer to locate a particular point on the object, on the workspace, or you use your object. As your objects are moving, then the cursor will be moving. And cursor blinks, whereby you have your pointer moving as you are moving the mouse. So that's the major difference between your pointer and your mouse. So your mouse movement, that's the pointer. The blinking object that you have on your workspace is the what? Is the cursor. Do you get that? All right. So that's the difference between your pointer and your cursor. Okay. What next? Now let's go into test formatting now. To start your test formatting, that is to insert text, is very simple, as you have always been doing. You just start typing based on where you have your cursor. Okay, you want to say something?
Is the black line covering the task bars?
Okay, there is a black line.
Yeah, there's a black line covering all those task bars on top.
Okay, the covering where I have my, oh, sorry about that. That is the toolbar for my Zoom. Let me hide it.
Okay.
So I think it's no more there now.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Thank you for notifying me of that. That's the toolbar for the Zoom. It's because of how I decided to. Let me see if I can control that from my share. The way I share let me stop share first. Now let me reshare. Is it still covering it?
It's okay, no, it's not there.
It's okay. All right. So so let's go and do what we call the test formatting. So to start typing in Microsoft Word, you just have to locate where you have your cursor, and anything you type will be revealed on the workspace. So if I say this is just a test for testing, now I've typed something here now, and this is in uppercase. To make a selection, there are many ways you can make a selection in Microsoft Word, but the easiest way is to hold your left click, locate where you want to start your selection from, click and hold your left click, then move your mouse to cover to the extent you want to select. So you move your mouse to cover to the extent you want to select, and that will select the object. You know that already. If you want to align, just move your mouse to maybe to the edge, to the left edge, where your test started from, and you can select whether centralize, align to the right. Either you want to justify or you want to align to the left. Now, the major difference between aligning to the left and justifying is that when you justify, both your left and your right indent will be aligned. But when you are aligning to the left alone, your right indent, your right side will not be aligned. So you will see that effect where you have enough of text on your workspace. And another important thing is, many times when you are writing probably you are writing a project and you are told to write in a particular writing format. That is why we have this issue of references. So you can, if you see references here, you will see insert citation or something like that, and then you will see format. Basically, the default format will be APA format. We also have another common format we always use, which is MLA format. But basically, you have APA format. So you can use that to select how you want your citation to be. But that is advanced, and you might not understand that yet if you have not been writing research papers. But when you start writing research papers, you will need this aspect. But by default, it's always in APA format, and that is why you have your indent to be 1 centimeter here. This is what we call your left indent, because that is APA format. For every APA format writing, your left indent should be 1 centimeter, with 1 centimeter, and your spacing also. Your spacing will also be 1 centimeter. Your paragraphing, will also be 1 centimeter. All those things, maybe, I'm not sure it's not part of the curriculum. I will have taught us how to write in APA format, because it's part of what you will learn, you will do in research work. But let's leave that one for now. So what am I saying? I'm saying that in formatting your text, you have to take note of where you start your writing from. Now, people call this your margin. Some people call it indent, anything you want to call it. But that is just the space you have from the edge of your paper to where your work starts from. And you can control the margin by shifting this option you have here. If you come up, you wait. If you have your ruler, on your ruler, if you come to the middle of that simple icon you have there for your ruler, anytime you have this arrow like this, that means you can use that to change the location of your margin, the size of your margin. So you can decide to move it to the left, you can decide to move it to the right, as much as you want. It depends on the individual. Then if you click on what you have here, that is for the left indent. That will only move the indent, but not the margin. I don't know if you get this, but okay, let's do it like this. Oh, okay. Now, you will notice I talk about APA format or something like that. I said when writing in APA format, we write with 1 centimeter indent. So in that kind of situation, that means your writing will start after 1 centimeter. By the time you enter spacebar to move to another line, which is not for paragraphing, then you continue writing. And your spacing, they will tell you it must be 2 centimeter. Is it 2 centimeter? Yes. But you must not have remove space after paragraph. So then you will have this wide space to the left. All those things are part of just format writing, and you can click the box you have below to set your indent. That's the meaning of that. Let's leave that one. And if you move the upper one, you can also use that to move your indent, and when you press enter, it will continue to go like that. So that's how to control your ruler. That's how to control your ruler. I said if you want to move the margin, you wait until you have that double-headed arrow, and that will help you to move your margin. But if you just want to move the indent, just click on whether the one at the bottom or you click the one at the top to move your indent. Thank you for that. Now, to select, I've told us how to select. I've showed you. The next important thing is, okay, let's say I make a selection now. Something will come up. This thing, we call it mini toolbar. This is what we call the mini toolbar. Anytime you make a selection, instead of you having to go up again to make a selection, to apply a particular tool, so the mini toolbar will be displayed. So this is what they call mini toolbar. Mini toolbar. So I can easily use that one to bold, to italics, or to underline. Oh, okay. So let's say you want to write in superscript. I'm just trying to pick some of the important ones because I know you have always been using Microsoft Word. So I'm just trying to pick some of it that might be challenging. So let's say you want to write something like this. CO. We use this in letter writing. So you know C must be in superscript. Your 0 must be in what now? What do they call that one? So for superscript, you come here, and for the other ones now, subscript. So you click this. You click this S2. So to get and after you are done, you remove it and you type the address. Maybe CO on a banjo road or something like that. So that's how to write superscript and subscript. Yes, if you want to write naira. So sometimes you might not see the symbol for naira under your symbol. So you just have to select it, come to your font group, click on the dialog box, activate the dialog box, click on double strike through and press OK. So it will give you double strike through for your naira. So those are some of the things we encounter when we write. Now under your paragraphing, depending on the purpose of the writing, but I always encourage people, don't go lesser than 1.5 for it to be easy for people to read. So your paragraph shouldn't be more than 1.5, and don't add space after paragraph. But if you want to do, then that means when you click on paragraph, add space after paragraph, then that means you will not, your paragraphing, let me deactivate this double strike through. Let me go back. Okay. So if I write something now, let me just write something, and I press enter, I write another one. I press enter, I write another one. Now, currently now, what I have here is under paragraph. I have it, let me say I put it at 1.5. If I remove space after paragraph, it will shorten it. If I leave it as if I leave it as add space after paragraph, you will have a wide space here. So depending on the format you are using to write, if you are writing with APA format, you will have it to be like this. But if you are writing for yourself, you can just remove space after paragraph. And you might want to decide to use double space bar, double enter now to write for your paragraph, so that anytime I want to paragraph, I use double enter. But if you don't want to do that, it depends on you. What else? Let me see if there is another thing we need to know. So copy and paste, cut, font bold, selection. Okay, let me just show us. We know those ones already. If you want to copy anything, just select it, press Ctrl C. That's the shortcut. Then Ctrl V to paste. Ctrl plus V. For people that are using Mac, that is Command V or Command C. But I'm not sure anybody is using Mac. Yeah. Okay. So that's Ctrl C and Ctrl V for your copy. If you don't want to use shortcut, you can just select and come to your clipboard and press copy. Then to paste, you come to your paste options. Now you always have 3 paste options. The difference between these 3 pasting options are: number 1, you can keep source formatting. Let's say you copy from another Word document, you want to keep the formatting from where you are copying from. Then you can keep it by using this option. If you want to merge formatting, you want to merge the other ones together with the new formatting you have here. But most times, the best thing to go for is keep text only. Because sometimes, let's say you copy something from the internet and you keep source formatting. By the time you try to paste it in your Word document, it might take hours to load because of the formatting of what you copied on the internet. So it's preferable to make your work easier. Keep text formatting anytime you are pasting. So that is why most times when I want to paste, I don't use Ctrl V. I will just right click and I will use this. Keep text only. And that's it. Alright. Let me see if there is any other thing. We've checked out selection, undo, redo, alignment, paragraphing, line spacing, bullet points, numbering. So let's do that. So if you want to add bullet points and numberings, just come to paragraph. You will see bullet points here, different styles, but the best one to use is this. That's the bullet point. Any other one is too fancy, and for professionalism, just go for simplicity. Less is more. You don't need to be complex in your usage of. So there is no reason why you should use this. It looks somehow. Then you can select your numberings here. Very simple. And you can also what else? You can do your alignment here. Then this is what the text color. You can use this to change your case. And you can use this to increase your font or decrease your font. Alright. That's everything you need to know from the Home tab. Let's see how you can insert images. Oh. So image insertion. Now let's try to insert images. You can insert images from online. You can insert images from your system. So if I want to insert from my computer, I will just click pictures. Then you go into your computer to select any image you want to use. So let's say I want to use this image. I'll just press insert. And that's how to insert images. Now, to gain flexibility for your images, because this is Microsoft Word. This is not CorelDRAW or Adobe Illustrator or anything, or all this design software. It can be frustrating sometimes when dealing with images on Microsoft Word. You will just notice that your text your tests are flying all around. That way sometimes some people will be crying, right? Especially when you are dealing with projects. People used to have
I
issue
was
with.
I was writing a feedback report last year. This thing frustrated me. Arrange.
You will
One
be
test will just
arranging.
come in between.
And what text will just be flying anyhow. So this is how you go about that. So anytime you import images, there is something that will come up here. Many people don't take note of this thing. You have your layout options. Make sure you click your layout options. By default, your layout will be in line with text. So that means anytime you move your objects, in fact, your object will be locked naturally. But anytime you mistakenly move your objects, your text will be moved already. You can see the text are coming down as I'm moving the object up. That is because you are in line with objects, in line with text, sorry. But don't do that. Come under this with text wrapping here. Then pick, if you want to go for square option, so that means your text and your text can come up around your object, around the image. But that's still not the best. You have the next option that we call tight. Some people do use tight also, so that when you can easily move your objects, you can easily move your images, and as you are moving your images, your text will be falling into the right place they ought to fall to. So if I move my image up easily, then the object will come down. If I move the image down, the object will align up. That is for tight. Now, if I don't want to use tight, which is not too encouraging, you can also go for true. So true and tight are very similar. There is no major difference between the two. The only thing is just that when you are using true, you have the opportunity to write to the right hand side. So you can notice that when I move my text to the left side of the margin, you can notice that some of the text moves to the right hand side. So that's because I'm using true currently. Now, let's see the next one before I tell us the best one to go for. So the best one is top and bottom. Top and bottom simply means no matter how I move my text, there won't be anything like my text moving to the right side. There won't be anything like my text moving to the left side. It will either move up or down. And I have flexibility over my object. So I can shrink it as I want. I can reduce it. I can increase it. And my text will just be falling in place naturally. So I won't be having this issue of disalignment, disarrangement, all those things. And another one you can have is you can make your image to be behind the text. So that means if you want your image to be behind the text, as you are moving your image, the text will still remain the same way. That is one way for you to deal with it. And you can also come here, you can come to in front of text. That means your image can come in front of text. So you can still use this option for flexibility. Let's say you have done your text, you have typed, but the problem with that is if you want to go to the next line, the next line will fall below. You understand? The next line will fall below because your object is at the top. So that is why the best one to go for naturally. Sorry. Let me delete this. Let me delete this. Okay. So currently I'm using fixed position with fixed position on page. So that means after you have, please pay attention here to prevent all these things that has to do with your image flying all around, text flying all around. This is the best option you should go for. The best option you should go for is top and bottom, then fix position on page. Top and bottom, then click fix position on page. By default, what you will have is move with text, and you will have it here. You will have this in line with text. But the best option is firstly click top and bottom, then fix position on page. So with that, anywhere you place your objects, your text will not be affected. Your text will remain where they ought to be. If you press enter now, the next line will be below the objects. And this object will remain there forever and ever. No matter what you delete, no matter what you do on any other pages, this object will remain in this position unless you move it. If you do not move it, the object will not move. I believe you understand that.
That particular button you are using is not appearing on my own.
Jesus, my Lord. Click the object first. Click the image. Click the image first. Click the image, then move to your right. You will see that small layout option called layout options. Then click it. Can you see it? Okay, let me see another option you can use. Click the object, then go to format. Under format, we should be able to see layout options here. Position, yes, you will see position. Then these are the options here. No, not these ones. Wrap text. It is wrap text. Under wrap text, you go for top and bottom, and make sure you fix position on page. So that's another way to go about it. Do you see that one?
Okay.
You will see format at the top. Go for wrap text, then click on top and bottom, then fix position on page. Can you see that?
Top and bottom. Better.
So you have been able to settle that now. So that's how to deal with your images. Even if you are importing videos, that's how to deal with videos, to prevent stories that touches the heart. That thing used to annoy. In fact, it's very frustrating. You will want to go and print like this. That is when you will notice that one heading is flying in. That it dealt with a lot of people. So that's how to deal with your images anytime you insert images. So let's go back to insert tab. Another thing I want to show us here is the shapes, usage of shapes. Okay, you can also import images online. From online, you can take online pictures if you want to use stock images, but you have to be connected to the internet to do that. So it's because I am currently connected to the internet, that's why I can do this. So I can insert pictures by browsing from Bing image search. Probably I type gorilla. Maybe I want to import a gorilla image. So you can see. Then normally you have to go for images that are tagged with Creative Commons. The meaning of Creative Commons is everybody can use it. So that's a name for a license. Creative Commons license. So if you are using online images, make sure you are using images that are free for use. Because if you are dealing with Americans or white people, they are very conscious. They are very conscious, and in fact, they don't joke with copyright. They don't joke with copyright. So you can see they are even telling me here, you are responsible for respecting others' rights, including copyright. So those people, they don't joke with copyright. They can take you to court because of it. So make sure you go for images that are on Creative Commons license. Let's leave that one. Now you can insert shapes by going to shape and picking any shape you want. So let's say I want to pick a circle. I will click that over and I will come down here and draw my. Now, if you do not hold your shift key, your circle will be giving you different funny over shapes. But if you hold the shift key, you can have a nice over shape. A nice circle shape. And you can move it as you want. Your shape also comes with the layout options. So you can set it in line, top and bottom, fix on page, just as I have shown you. So it also comes with layout options. So if you don't have the quick one I'm using here, you can come to format, drawing tools, wrap text, and set it. So please, anytime you are inserting anything, make sure you format it to fit into where you want to put it. Those things are very important to prevent stories that touches the heart. Okay, so on your object, you can also shape, you can fill your shape, you can pick the color of your shape, and you can add outline, you can increase the weight of the outline. You see, your Microsoft Word is also very powerful design tool, depending on how you can use it. It's a very powerful design tool. And you can even decide not to use outline if you don't want to use outline. And you can combine two objects together. So you can come to, let me firstly ensure this one is fixed, okay? So you can go to insert again, come to your shapes, and you can pick another object, maybe this object, and I can decide to add this to my object. Let me move this. You can rotate the object. Let me move this like this. You can increase the length if you want to do that. You can increase the length of your object. And you can change the shape, color. You can add nothing, like, okay. You can remove your. So I want this to look like, yeah, you can remember this symbol. So now you can match these two objects. Click the first object, hold down the shift key, click the second object, then you can come to edit shape. Where is it? Under group, you can group the two objects. That's not what I'm looking for. Okay, there is no tool for combine here. All right, that's okay. So you can group them together by using group. So you group the two objects together and it has become a whole object. All right, so that's shapes, entrance shapes. That's how to enter shapes. This one should be top and bottom fixed button. Okay. Let's see another thing. You want to insert tables. This is another aspect that people do messed up with. So table, how do you undo tables? So you firstly select the rows and your columns, but it's not compulsory. You can always add more rows, you can always add columns. Just select one you want to start with. So if I want to start with this 5x6 table, so you already have your table here. You can use your table style to determine how your table will look like. So this is one style, this is another style, this is empty style, plain table. So you won't even see this one, and this is another style, but this is the traditional style. Now, there are sometimes you want to divide your page into 2 columns. The best way to divide pages into 2 columns is to use table. And I will show us how to do that now. Let me delete this. Okay, firstly, let me show us table formatting. When you type anything in a table, table 1, to move to the next table, you can press your tab. Click on tab, you move to the next column. Table 2, click on tab, you move to the next column. Table 3. And to move a particular column, just come on top of the line. You will see this double-headed arrow. You can use it to drag the position of your table. Okay? Now, let's say you want to fit your column to meet with the text. So just come to the edge, to the line, double click on it. It will automatically fit to the size of the text. I hope you see that magic. So if I want this to automatically fit to this, I will just come to this place, double click. It automatically fits to the size of the text. So that's how to go about that one. And to move to the next line, just tab, and that's how you keep moving. When you get to the last edge, if you press tab again, it will add another row. Let's say you want to delete a particular row, you can select it and right click on it and click delete cells. So it will show you what do you want to delete. So I want to delete entire row, I will just press OK. It has removed that row. If I want to add another row, instead of using tab, I can just come to insert row below. That's how to insert another row. Let's say I want to insert column to the right. I will just come to insert column to the right. It will add another column. So that has to work with your tab, with your table, sorry. Now let me get out of this and show you how to divide your page into 2 columns. So I want to divide this page into 2 columns now. So what I will do is to come to my table, insert. I will come to table and I will pick just 2 by 1 column. Then you will come to this style, plain table, and click it. So currently, if you look up at your ruler side, you will see that you are having 2 things here. So you can continue to type. As you are typing, sorry, no, that's not what I was going to do for me. Wait. What did I press? So you can type here, table 1. So you want to go to the next column to type. You can type table 2. And people will not see it. They will not even see it. Then you can, maybe you want to include the text here. You just continue to type it. Sorry, don't allow that thing to be moving like that too. Okay, I'm on the next line, that's why. So you can continue to type from here, and from there you move to the next table. That is if you want to divide your page into 2. Let's leave that one. What else? Okay, still under your inserts, you can insert charts. You can insert charts, probably a line or a pie or a bar chart or area chart. If you are teaching people mathematics, you can do something that has to do with charts. But the best place to deal with charts is to use your Microsoft Excel, because Microsoft Excel allows you to, you can even see automatically they give you a Microsoft Excel document. But we are not yet in Microsoft Excel, so I will show us more on how to create charts using Microsoft Excel. So let's close that one and let's delete this. So you can also take a screenshot if you want to do that. You can insert online video. You can even insert your own video. What else can you do? If you have a signature, you can add to it. You can add date and time depending on the format you want. I can add that. You can insert objects. You can insert symbols. This is where you insert mathematical symbols. Just click on symbol and wait for it to load. Please give me some minutes. I'm coming. Sorry about that. I need to quickly attend to someone. So I was talking about symbol. So when you click symbol, you can go for more symbols. All right. So you can go for more symbols, or you pick any of these ones like copyright, things like that. And if you want more symbols, you just need to click more symbols. And okay. So I don't know why Microsoft decided not to add Naira to their symbol, because almost all currency is available here. But you can see our Naira there. You can see pounds, you can see euro, you can see yen. But they decided not to recognize Nigerian Naira. Okay, and you can see equations. So these are equations like binomial theorem, expansion of area of a circle, expansion of a sum, quadratic formula. So like for instance,
These ones are speaking in tongues.
what?
I'm speaking in tongues here. Those ones, they are too far.
Okay, this. So these are just for mathematics people. So you can use this to insert a particular equation. So, and that is why if you are doing CBT test, for people who know how to use system very well, and you are giving them mathematics, they can easily copy formula from here.
Hey.
But some people,
I'm not sure many people know.
Many people don't know that. Many people don't know it. Many people don't know it. But we have a lot of equations that you can work with here. A lot of them. A lot of them. You can see fraction equation. You can see data, all these funny things. Script, radical, operator. A lot of formulas here. Matrix, things like that. identity matrix. Okay. What else? Let me go back to my own.
Not a math. Nothing I can be doing in maths.
I mean, wow, it's raining already here. So that's everything we need to know. Sorry. That's everything we need to know concerning Microsoft Word for now. I need to stop this now. It's 1:10 already. So that's all for today. Wow. Everywhere is dark already. So thank you very much. We continue from there tomorrow by God's grace. Thank you for joining the class for today. That's all for today. Thank you so much. Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir. My children are disturbing me here.
So I'm saying that's all for today. It's even raining here now. Everywhere is dark now.
I can see everyone getting that.
Yes. So it's all right. We'll continue next time. Thank you so much. And God bless you.